Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. Another day that ends in Y, where a developer for a big AAA studio, or I guess in this case, a technical artist, runs his mouth and says rather foolish things, shuts down his account, and the likelihood of there being any statement from said AAA studio is unlikely. Please don't hold your breath. You'll pass out and fall over, possibly hit your head, get a concussion. We don't want that, ladies and gentlemen. Over here at that Park Place, Blizzard, technical artist calls for political violence against Orange Man supporters before disabling his online presence, because that seems to be the tactic. Run your mouth, say something foolish, ostracizing, well, I guess at this point, over half of your potential customer base. And yes, I understand not all those people will buy the video games, but hey, I said this before and I'll say it again. In the words of the great Michael Jordan, even Republicans buy sneakers, baby. Everybody buys video games. People buy video games. It's our escapism. Why on earth, if you work for Activision Blizzard, why on earth would you think it's a good idea to say something foolishly political online? Keep your opinions to yourself or suffer the consequences. Vote with your wallet, ladies and gentlemen. Fallout from Activision Blizzard's unwavering commitment to DEI. Oh, the lovely diversity, inclusion, and equity, because that's what it does to your game and your studio. When you focus on my diversity, my inorganic inclusion, people can tell. Gamers are not stupid, no matter how much these AAA studios think we are. We're not morons, although people who continuously buy the sports games, the Madden games, the copy-paste, can't even edit out the logo in the stadium, but what do I know? This could be the exception, not the rule. We're not stupid. We notice things. We see red flags. Channels like mine love to talk about those red flags and give the audience a chance to make that decision for themselves. Everybody makes their own decision. Could be one red flag to force someone, not force someone. One red flag could convince someone to shut their wallets tight. Period. No ifs, no ands, no buts. Not even a review. Not even an outstanding review will get them to change their mind. Other people will be exceptionally hesitant, wait for a sale, wait for a trustworthy review after a few red flags. But hey, it's happening more and more, and I'm very, very happy to talk about that. But when you see these red flags, these studios need to realize that they're important. Keep your political views to yourself or suffer the consequences. The DEI initiatives that, they're just going to rename it. And you can pretty much put all these studios in it. It's just Activision Blizzard announcing it, but all the other AAA studios, they're not getting rid of the people. They're getting rid of the titles because my Orange Man said so. They get rid of the titles, shuffle people around because their commitment to inorganic diversity and forced inclusion into their video games is paramount, because otherwise they would have to admit they were wrong. Blizzard technical artist Kyle Hickey, that's an unfortunate name, made an incendiary post. Oh, I believe it was a little bit more than incendiary. It comes across as a bit of a threat for, well, you be the judge for yourself, that appeared to call on his social media followers to commit, well, violence against supporters of the big old Orange Man president. I'm not going to read that because YouTube has rules, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about censorship. It's got rules. If I want my channel to continue to send the message out there, and if I want to continue to run my moronic mouth to you fine followers of mine, thank you very much for making it this far, well, then I got to follow their rules and their guidelines. So you see it right there. And there's a name down here that I wasn't aware of, but that Park Place brings it up. Who's the author right here? M. Montanaro. Montanaro brings this up of Max Davenport of Gearbox Software. Now, Gearbox Software, well, that's Tiny Tina's Wonderland and Borderlands, and apparently, well, he agrees with the statement. That little heartfelt like and love there. Almost like all these talking heads have the same viewpoint. Echo chamber, you might say. They're scared of the Cheeto and the toupee. On January 21st, just one day after the inauguration of President Donald Trump, Hickey, I'm going to laugh at that name for the rest of this article. Do that to your local MAGA. My goodness, how can you have such vehement hatred for a group of people that you disagree with it with them that you want their, well, no longer being here. Okay. I have disagreements with people all the time. I don't think they should remove themselves from the gene pool or go to the self checkout line or be taken care of in other means. But I don't know. I guess it's something I'll never understand. Maybe I'm just too old. That was the entire post. It contained no qualifiers, emojis, or humor that might suggest it was a joke or satirical statement. The stark and alarming message was liked by several of Hickey's followers, including, like I said, Max Davenport, associate art director. What is the, okay, technical art director, associate art director? What is, yeah, technical artist? Is there something in the water that these artists are drinking? Is that what's going on? Because I believe we had the one for Avowed who lost his ever-loving mind, did a video on that. If one day I'm going to learn how to put tags and stuff in the video so you can go directly to it. But hey, it's the one on the idiot on Avowed who had opinions, and yeah, he doesn't like us, but whatever. Huh. Yeah, Blizzard technical artist and associate director of Gearbox both wish over 50% of America. The post came to public attention after being shared by Mark Kern, former World of Warcraft team lead. They don't like Mark Kern. Everybody's got opinions about Mark Kern, but hey, he shares stuff when, some people think he should be working on something else. But anyway, known by his online moniker Grums, Kern posted a screenshot of Hickey's statements because, the internet is forever. If anything, taking screenshots and sharing all these things out there, it helps to keep them, I guess, honest. You can't get rid of it. You can't hide it. All the deleting in the world doesn't get rid of the things that you say online. Some so-called journalists are learning that, running their mouths and their words being used against them that they get so upset that they want to start filing lawsuits, but that's a whole other story. Caustic? I skipped something. Activision Blizzard President Rob Caustic for doubling down on DEI initiatives. Ah, yes, that lovely little thing. This is what I said. Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, the whole entire company as a whole, and much like other AAA studios, their DEI departments may be disappearing, but the people, the philosophy, the ideology isn't going anywhere. There are those online that say that we are winning, the battle is winning, the battle is won, or the war is still ongoing. It's not won. It's just being shifted. Continue to vote with your wallet. Continue to pay attention to what these people say, what they do, what they're trying to push in their games. I'm not saying boycott anything, but definitely vote with your wallet. Let your voices be heard. Continue to do that. People are going to disagree with you. People are going to agree with you. But if you're committed in your views, it will be seen, it will be shown. And again, eventually, one of two things will happen. The studios will pay attention and start adjusting to the change in the wind, or, much like Blizzard here, announce that they have no intention of listening to their customers. They don't care about you. They don't care about money, and will continue to promote inorganic diversity over, merit and talent. Here's Kostic's message. Quote, to be clear, this work continues. I believe, what was this? I do question this message right here, because this looks like a Reddit post. I'm not sure 100%. Y'all let me know in the comment section down below how valid this is, because this really looks like a Reddit post. It could be done by anybody. I don't know if it's, why are things edited out there, huh? That's my question, but we're going to go ahead and read it anyway. Is it true? Is it possible? Is it believable? Well, considering this is a AAA studio, yes, it's 100% believable. All the way. But let's read it. To be clear, this work continues to be extremely important in everything that we do. It's important to our games, unlike merit and talent, because that's not important, our culture, and who we are as a company. The only thing you should be concerned with is for you as a company is making entertaining games that we want to throw green at you. Nobody cares about the color of the character. They want fun games. They want pretty games. Some people want more prettier games than others. And again, that's your choice. Vote with your wallet. Green is the only color that matters. Make the game fun first, fuckers. And you'd be surprised. Sneak in your little ideological nonsense in there at the end. Whether it's disgusting looking characters or half-naked ladies with the bouncy jiggly physics. That's all fine and dandy. Everyone's going to buy the game that they want to. But if you don't make it fun, well then, the ideological checkbox infested game is going to fail because the game's not fun. And the same goes for the jiggle physics games, the gratuitous fan service games. You can call them pretty all you want to, say that's what we want, that's what gamers want, and well, I will consider you to be wrong wholeheartedly, because what gamers want is a fun experience. There's so many factors involved in that. It has to be more than just pretty to look at. Period. Because if the jiggle physics isn't fun to play, then it's going to fail as well. Stellar Blade, as an example, people paid attention to that game because of the uproar and the look of Eve, and how people actually said one of her outfits that added 2 inches to the hip size to the hip material on either side. Oh my gosh, it was censored, even though there were countless other outfits that were far more revealing. I didn't quite understand that argument, but the only reason that game became so successful is because it was actually fun. It had a decent combat mechanics. The gameplay loop kept me playing the game. Of course, I went and did some of the fan service up and down the ropes while I was streaming it because, hey, I have a crowd to please. Why not? I'm a child. I'm juvenile. So when it happened, but for the most part, I just used the regular outfits. I say regular outfits, moving on. But had the game not been fun, had the story not been interesting, and I did find the story interesting, very, very, I guess you could say biblical undertones for sure. If it had not succeeded in making it fun first, I don't think it would have been as successful or as praised. So remember that. When you're screaming from the rafters on what gamers want, what gamers really want, they want a fun escape from the doldrums of everyday life. They want to get away from the nonsense, the politics. And you can mix in your politics, but if you make it fun, make it make sense, Final Fantasy VII, we all know. Oh, Metaphor ReFantasio. Heard that was a rather political messaging games, but they made it fun. They made it interesting. They made it make sense. Off on the tangent, back to the article. Let's see. It's important for our games, our culture, and who we are as a company. You've forgotten who you are as a company. Our inclusive growth team, what kind of name for a team is that, has made great strides in helping us weave inclusivity and a lack of merit into all aspects of business, which is, going to affect the bottom line eventually. Our strategy here remains focused on enhancing the experiences of all employees, when you should be focused on enhancing the experiences of the customer. That is the job of the employees and the CEO. You pass that on. It starts at the top, works its way down. You should be focused on enhancing the experience of the customer. Providing exceptional experiences to players globally. Well, without talent and merit, you're going to fail in that aspect. Providing accessible opportunities to those interacting with our company and brand. I look forward to all the great work, lack of talent, we'll continue to do together. Grums did not mince words. Let's see what he has to say. This is the type of atmosphere that Activision President Bobby Kostich is fostering. It's not Bobby Kotick. Why do they got Rob Kostich, Bobby Kotick? I'm detecting a pattern. Fostering as he doubles down on DIE and ESG today. HR turns a blind eye. Well, HR doesn't care. They care more about the message and pushing the message than anything else. It's almost obvious. It's almost blatantly obvious they don't care about the bottom line anymore. Following the backlash, his name's Hickey, appears to have deactivated all his social media accounts. I can't imagine why. I mean, how much backlash could one possibly get when you send such a, scathing message to those who supported the current president, including his Facebook and LinkedIn pages? Maybe he was fired. Who knows? Or, quite possibly, can you imagine this? The bigwigs at Blizzard said, shut it down or else. Now, that would be amazing. But we're not going to get any proof of that one way or another. Taking his personal art website. Oh, his personal art website online. So that means he got all the backlash. Neither Hickey nor Activision Blizzard have released a statement. And again, don't hold your breath. You'll fall over and pass out. Not necessarily in that order. In response to Hickey's post and what he described as a toxic program in Activision, Mark Kern are y'all relying so much on the Mark Kern? Let's go find some other sources too. Called for a boycott of Call of Duty. Well, just like I said, when it comes to a message from Activision Blizzard, I wouldn't hold your breath on boycotting Call of Duty because gamers are going to game. They don't care. Ultimately, as a whole, you have a massive group of customers who don't pay attention to us. They're not on Twitter. They're not checking out YouTube commentary channels like mine or like Hypnotic or Smash JT or any of the like. They're waiting for the next version of Call of Duty to come out so they can drop their $70 on a cookie cutter first-person shooter, arena shooter, and whatnot, play the story for 8 hours, and then get on to the multiplayer. That's why these games, that's why these games are making all the money. Because regardless of, some of the nonsense that they put in with the bullet skins and the hideous skins that they put on the guns last June, oh my Lord, that was an abomination. They want the next big game because that's what all their friends are playing. It's what everybody's playing. They're not going to want to miss out. You're going to have a decent group who does listen to us for some odd reason and pays attention to the goings on behind the scenes of the studios. But again, I do firmly believe as a whole, Call of Duty is not going anywhere. It might dip in sales here and there from one year to the next, but another first-person shooter that's part of the AAA platform, the AAA environment, is going to take its place, and they'll flip-flop one year over the other. Who's in front and who's not? And one side will celebrate, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation, much like these console wars, much like these brand wars. People love their brand, and they're going to continue to support it. I don't know how much calling for a boycott of Call of Duty, or if any Activision Blizzard game, is going to work because, again, a vast majority of the normie audience that provides all the money to these games, they're not paying attention to us. They would have to start noticing things like this. This is hideous. And the bullets, that was just funny. And I don't think they are. It's time to boycott Call of Duty. You can go ahead and hold your breath, Mark. I'm sure people are in favor of that. That was a joke, people. It was a joke. Current statements has already gained traction among gamers that get on X, and that's not as much as you think. With Activision Blizzard's policies and perceived political bias. Well, it's a AAA studio. They all have political biases. Go to the independents, find your favorite independent content creator, video game developer, and see what they have in store for you. Support the independents, because there's no talent left in the AAA studios. This latest Blizzard artist controversy highlights growing concerns over the intersection of politics, culture, corporate culture, and the gaming industry's direction under DIE-focused initiatives. The DIE-focused initiatives, they're not going anywhere. They're just going to hide them under a different name or change the titles and whatnot. And we're just going to have to keep voicing it. We're going to have to keep talking about it. Us versus them. Customers versus the AAA studios, which I find very odd, but very true. We have a lot of customers or potential customers voicing their opinion one way or another. There's a lot of disagreements, which is going to happen till the end of days. Who's going to win? Who's got the bigger wallets? They're making games, they're making videos for a so-called modern audience that doesn't have the money. They're trying to make games to entice particular demographics when they already have the award-winning, the cash cow demographic in hand. They've had for decades, since the dawn of the first-person shooter, since the dawn of video games and MMOs and whatnot. You have the formula right in front of you. Now you have someone going there with activist ideology, going in, trying to change the formula that's been working over and over again, not realizing that the demographic you're trying to target, you're going out of your way to appease, has already been playing your games this entire time. And a good bit of them aren't interested in your pandering either. But I'm going to stop rambling. I'll have a link to the article in the description box down below. I'm just going to end it right there. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike. Thank you for making it this far. Share this with your enemies. Share this with your friends. And I do hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.